Okay, Muriel, Zoe, you've just stepped off the stage at the prestigious RADA for the London Actors Workshop's showcase. Starting with you, Zoe, how did it all go for you?
Oh, just now?
Yeah,
how did it all go? Well.
Yeah.
Like we both came off and we were like...
Is the adrenaline pumping?
Yeah, it was good, like definitely. I can't describe it apart from, like, at least we felt like we
felt good.
So yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. All the lines go nice and smoothly? It's warm out there, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's hot out there.
It is hot. I had to put, like, I was just saying that I blush on my chest.
So do I.
I had to put foundation on my chest to stop it from happening. Otherwise people are going to think I'm, like, ill.
All right. And Muriel, how did it all go for you?
Good. It just felt really good. I don't know. I think it's the best performance we did today, so I'm really happy about that. And
well, it's best that won't be the final one.
Yeah, at least for me personally, that's how I felt.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was good. It's just over in a flash, really. But it felt good. I feel
good. Kind of like,
yeah.
Starting with you, Zoe. Tell us what you got from the character itself, all the research, what you did, and how did you develop this character?
I kind of obviously bought the play, read through the play. I guess I tried to...
In your eyes, what was this character?
Oh, okay, what was this character? This character's just sort of... She's never really been... She's had like a perfect upbringing, not everything should be fine, and now suddenly all her life's been turned upside down for her because her parents are separating because of this woman here. And I think perhaps for someone else it might have been like, they might, obviously it's all like a devastating situation, but I think Sophie relies on the parents so much that it's really, it shakes the whole world, because she hasn't had any relationship, well at least that's how I read it, never had any relationship, so basically her main source of love and security comes from her parents, and then to have that break apart, just completely sort of, like, she's just a volcano of emotions. So yeah, and to be honest with you, like, I've never had any relationships. Sorry, if I...
No, I'm doing that because you're doing fantastic. I'm doing that because you're doing well. You're doing well. Listen, don't doubt yourself. You're doing fantastic, both of you. Keep it going.
I was going to say, like, I thought you were doing that, so then that's enough.
No!
You're too personal. Stop.
I'm doing that because you're doing fantastic. I'm trying to put you at ease. We'll leave that below.
Essentially, what I was going to say was that I felt like I could really relate a lot to this character because, like, I've had a...
Ladies, please. Excuse me, thank you.
I've had a, like, really decent upbringing and stuff like that, and I've never had a relationship or anything like that, so my main source of love and security also comes from my family, and there was a time when they were a bit, and I can completely sort of, I felt really connected to the character because I felt like I could relate to her a lot. So yeah.
That's lovely. Okay, Miss Muriel, tell us a bit about your character.
Yeah, my character. I think she's in love with power more than anything else. So.
Are you in love with power for real?
No. I pretty much everything she does in the play. It's something I would never do, but I kind of see where she comes from, or at least that's what I've made up in my mind. Sort of her back history, but someone who's very intelligent, quite sexual, and just power hungry, I think, in a way, and she just uses George for her own purposes, and then later on just obviously drops him again because it never works out. So, and I think in the scene particularly, I think I really enjoy having a hold over Sophie by just basically going, you can say whatever you want, but I am going to go home and have sex with your father. That's never going to change. So I quite like that in a way. It's a character I've never really played before, so it's quite nice to have sort of the upper hand for once and be the more aggressive one in that way. So she's a cool character in a way to play.
Zoe, what has been the highlight for you of this course? What have you enjoyed the most from the London Actors Workshop?
I think for me the most, I'm going to say like useful as well.
I thought you were going to say you, Richard.
You. Although actually no one sets the scene like in terms of like the room. Sweet.
Thank you.
I'm not surprised there's not been incense, to be honest. I feel like
You just put a thought in my head.
I was going to say.
But I really like. I mean, to be honest, pick out the time that I enjoyed the most is really I can't. But to pick out perhaps the most useful part for me was when we had the casting directors come
in the evenings, the evening classes.
Yeah, the evening classes, and particularly the very first one. Oh, it was like a pool of knowledge, and I was literally just getting everything from that. I learned so many things. I mean, all over the course, I learned so many things I didn't know. But the casting directors were.
That's
really
a part for you. Mira? What did you enjoy the most? Did you like the combat? Did you like the commercials?
That,
did you like
that was probably one of my favourites, I have to say. He was really fun and
Brett.
and it was techniques I'd never used before. That session I really enjoyed, but I also really enjoyed the focus on Shakespeare. I think her name was
Endy.
Thank you. I really liked her session. That felt really good. And actually, I also really enjoyed our class with John Sedgwick. I really enjoyed that.
That was
class.
sight reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really that was a really very pleasant class. He just has a very
eye opener.
Yeah, and it just the way of teaching, the way he was doing it was really, really great. And I honestly think probably the one doing it in front of the camera with all the techniques, that is probably something I really take away from it. That is something I'd never done before, so especially with holding the paper in a certain way, the script, and make it, that was really useful.
You were going to say?
I was just going to say on the same note with the TV one, when we had
commercials.
The commercials, but it was one of the very last ones we had. Like, what was it?
Was it with Daniel? Daniel Dresden.
Daniel. Not there was we had two in a row which were kind of very similar.
You mean?
Oh yes, Peter.
Daniel. Peter and
yeah,
Daniel.
yeah.
Well, first of all, Peter and Daniel were superb, both of them. Like Daniel has just this aura of calm about him, which I absolutely loved. But with and with Peter, I kind of like, and I think a lot of people felt like this. I changed so much within one session. And then I wish we could see the footage, but
Okay, ladies, thanks ever so much for taking the time out just so shortly after the showcase. Let's hope the profession is kind to you and may great roles come your way.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Thank you.